guys, this is our math project. It's kind of a mess, but enjoy. Sure we will. Spend a lot of time on it, so.
Hey, hi, I'm sine. You know the cool trig function? The one whose graph starts at a sinusoidal axis, goes up to a maximum, goes back down to the sinusoidal axis, down to a minimum, then back to the sinusoidal axis. Ring a bell? Yeah, I know. So I run this unit circle production company with my wife and kid, and I'm in charge of all the y values for the unit circle. You know, the sine of 45, that's 1 over root 2. The sine of 30, that's 1/2. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I know, I'm cool. Yeah.
Okay, Tangent, we're starting this business meeting. Hey, I'm cosine. So yeah, I run this business with my family. I'm in charge of the x values of the unit circle. For example, the cosine of 120 is 1/2, and the cosine of 300 is -1/2. Pretty cool, right? My graph starts at a maximum and ends at a maximum. Or it can start at a minimum and end at a minimum. I'm sort of versatile like that.
Alright, so the unit circle, it's not selling that well. So I've come up with a new product, an equation. Your mom and I were going to teach you what all this means so that you can market it to people.
Hello, I'm Tangent. I'm a really complex function. My job in the production company is finding the ratio of my dad to my mom. So basically, I appear when you put my dad on top of my mom. But you already knew that. So, for example, the sine of 60 degrees is root 3 over 2. And the cosine of 60 degrees is 1 over 2. So I appear when you put them on top of each other and get root 3. So the graph of tangent is really complex as it's a big graph split into different sections by vertical asymptotes. Then you have the swooshes that the direction depends on the sign.
This is the A. It affects the amplitude and it's the dilation factor.
The amplitude is always the absolute value of the dilation factor.
And so that means it's always positive, okay? Got that? Got that. Cool. This is the function. This can either be sine, cosine, tangent, etc. It basically changes the way the graph looks.
Changes it.
Yes. This is B. It affects the period. The period is basically one rotation of the unit circle, except it's on a graph. And B affects that.
It's where the graph starts and ends in one rotation.
Yes. This is X. This either is a degree or radian.
Degree or radian. Remember that.
Remember that. This is C. This changes where the graph starts.
Of course, exactly where it starts.
And this is D. It changes the sinusoidal axis,
It
where it
moves
is on
it-
the graph.
It moves it up and down.
Yes. This is the equation. Remember that.
Equation.
Okay.
Hey, I'm cosecant. I run this business with my husband and son, Inverse Incorporated. I used to run Trig HQ with Sine, but then that backstabber kicked me out. So I guess we're just mortal enemies now, and whatever he does, I just flip it. So you know how the sine of 135 degrees is 1 over root 2? Well, the cosecant is root 2, so I flipped it because I'm cool like that. Okay, so there are two ways to divide a unit circle, into 360 degrees or 2 pi. So for the past couple of years, we've been doing it in 360 degrees. But we should switch to 2 pi and market it as a whole new thing.
Sounds great, but that also seems really difficult. How do you propose to do that? Hey, I'm secant. I don't really know how I got dragged into this thing, but I guess I'm here now. I'm like cosine, except everything's just flipped. Like, the cosine of 240 is -1/2, but the secant of 240 degrees is -2. Why? Because functions.
Don't worry, there's a simple equation. To convert into radians, you do pi over 180 degrees times the degrees. To convert into degrees, you do 180 degrees over pi times radians.
That's really cool. We should start doing that.
Hey there, I'm cotangent. I basically just flip everything tangent does. I mean, it's not like I spend any effort. But basically, like the tangent of 315 degrees is -1, and the cotangent of 315 degrees is still -1. You know, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2.
So would it be
Come in.
It's just whatever you
It is us, Inverse Incorporated, and we're here to show you that we're better than you.
Do you know who they
No,
are?
who are you?
Inverse Incorporated.
Sorry, never heard of it.
Oh, negative 6, yeah.
Oh, Sign and I, we go way back. He's just pretending not to know who I am. We were the greatest duo once upon a time.
No, we weren't.
You know what? I don't have time for this.
You know, I don't know who she is or who any of you guys are, but do you guys want to stay for dinner?
Yeah, sure, that sounds great.
Dinner at our place then.
Tangent, is that an asymptote?
Okay, so we're starting this business meeting.
Dude is always the
Okay, so we're starting this business meeting. Look, sound that well. So I've come up with a new product, an
Do I have to do
equation.
the bottom part if I already know how to do it?
My parents hate each other for some reason.
Okay, Tangent, we're starting this business meeting.
6 9.
Wait, did we? Okay. This is the A. It affects the dramatic shift.
Oh, negative 6, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Cosine. Hey, I'm Cosine. Hey, I'm Cosine. Dang it, wait.
Trigonometric functions? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I run this oh my god, I can't. Hey, I'm Cosine. My graph is pretty cool too. Oh my god. Hey,
Shut up! Trigonometric functions, I sure hope it does.
What's the joke?
hey, I'm Cosine.